Hello and welcome. My name's Randy McAtee, and today I'm going to do a little bit of crafting, vlogging and crafting together. You could kind of, I've watched these TikTok videos where these gals, they're like this, talking into the camera, and I want to say that I just scroll right through them, and I usually do, but sometimes they got something going or whatever that I must pause on them or something, because the algorithm, it's showing me them every now and then at least. But anyway, so this is the crafter's equivalent here. So my chore today is this cast iron frog. Now it's a little frog, but it's cast iron and it's very heavy. I don't know what it weighs. It's got probably about 3 pounds. And I got this frog about, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I painted it because it was black. And the paint job is pretty good, and it's still fine. I've just decided that I want to brighten it up a little bit and put a gloss coating on it. I think I put a satin finish on it before. So because I've got a project that I'm working on, which I'll get to. Anyway, this is kind of in a way my forte. Before I was married, which was over 45 years ago, I was attempting to be a puppeteer and having fun at it. And but after I got married and had 6 kids, I couldn't figure out with the family how to puppeteer my way through life. But I've got a puppet here. I'll just show you briefly, just to kind of give you an idea what I do. This is a puppet that I made that was after one of our bishops, and basically everything you see here, other than the glasses, I made everything. I mean, I bearded it. I didn't make this bearding stuff, but I sewed all the clothes and did all the painting and sculpting and basically everything you see. So I'll maybe do a video on puppet making. Maybe I'll do more, people like it. My granddaughter wants to make a puppet, so I told her we would do one. Maybe we'll do it together. Anyway, I'm working on a project with my granddaughter with this frog, and so what I'm going to do is with these paints. Now I have some paints there that I bought more recently, and these are some paints that I've been using. These are like 25 years, probably 23 to 25 years old. And I've got this plate here from the dollar store or 99-cent store. Well, it used to be 99 cents. It was when I got this. I don't know what they are now. I like it because it's heavy duty. The paint, acrylic paint, comes off it quite well. I've used this several times. I also use it to serve food on from time to time. So basically what I want to do is I want to brighten up all the yellow spots, want to brighten up the red spots. I'm not sure that I need to do a lot with this subtle shading in here that I've got of the red and the green. I kind of like it, but I kind of, as I go along, I kind of figure it out as I go. But I will put some colors in here because they do need to be mixed because they are old paints. But if they work and you get your you get your paint on, then you can put on the finishing coat. You really don't have to worry about it too much. This has been sitting outside by our front door for, I don't know, it was out in the back, now it's been outside for years. It's taken the weather fine. Now that I put this on here, I noticed that this is the color here, and I could just repaint over that, and I might just do that if I got a little water over here too. If I do that, this is where, you know, close up, if you could see what I'm doing, would be very helpful. But, you know, I'm just not that advanced. I just got to where, with the help of my son, my youngest son, I have 5 sons, and my youngest son has helped me to learn Premiere Pro. Now I'm just getting the basics down, but basically I can put, you know, some clips together, which I couldn't do at the beginning. I couldn't stitch two videos together, and now I can do a few things, and I'm getting to know the program a little bit. So, boy, would you look at that? That's coming. It's coming out really well. I'll do since I did do a before shot where I took a picture of this, and so I'll show you the picture of what this looked like before, and then after. I'm glad I took this purple out because it's actually looking pretty awesome. Now I like to blend in these paints by taking a dry brush, kind of like what girls do with makeup. You know, it's not my thing, but if drag was my thing, I think I could do I think I could do a bang out job, you know, because it's kind of up my alley, but not my thing. You know, and I have nothing against this. Never had anything against all the drag stuff, but you know, I'm not crazy about them doing it for kids and whatnot. Oh, I got this thing on. Sometimes I hum to myself or whatever. You probably hear that from time to time. I might have to edit through this because this is a tedious applying paint, layering it like this is kind of tedious, and it takes time because you're putting colors over colors and blending them in, and that just it's just a process, and it doesn't, you know, and sometimes you don't quite get it right, and you have to work it. Now if you want to know what things are going to look like, you can do what I'm doing right now. As you're going along, you just put some water on it, and I'm using the water to thin it out. You use the water on it to see what, like in my case, I intend to put the gloss. So by putting the water on it, I can kind of see what the gloss is going to look like. Now I've got this dark yellow, dark green here, which I'm going to thin out. And just tap in here just to give it a little bit more green. I don't know if you can see that, but that's working out really well. Yeah. I'm liking it. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of this, one of these colors here in the center. So, but a thinned out version. So maybe I'll go with this right here. And what I'm using is, when I initially put this, went to put this paint down, it wasn't shaken up, so some of the medium that is mixed with the paint came out by itself. And you know, they sell that separate. I don't think I've got any here, but it's kind of like a liquid that helps you to float the paint and blend the colors. So this is good. I get a little bit of yellow in there on top of that green. Now I'm going to brighten up these dots. I think I'm going to make the eye, work on the black on the eyes. By just darkening them up a bit. Oh yeah, that looks good. I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to brighten up the yellow spots, brighten up the reds, and then I'm going to gloss it, and that'll be it. So the yellow spots are rather small, and I'm going to use the brightest yellow that I have, which is this right here. And you can see what a difference that's making. I think you can see it. And you know, now I'm not liking how I did these, and I don't have a cloth here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I might get up and get a cloth, wet it, and I'm going to basically just erase it with water. I got it in the eye, which I didn't want to do. But excuse me, I have a bunch of cloths over here. I cut up my old t-shirts into squares so that I could use them for just exactly these kind of things. Now that did a good enough job, and I'll just proceed with a little more caution. I'm not a perfectionist, but I don't want it to look too sloppy. I mean, I had a couple of these flare out a little bit more than I wanted. And this brush seems to be okay. But when you do this enough, you learn that you can always use different applicators. You could use a toothpick, really whatever works. I was at a garage sale the other day. By the way, I got this t-shirt at a garage sale, and just last weekend. I kind of liked it. I paid $1 for it. Now I don't know what this says. If it's offensive, let me know, and I won't wear it again. But maybe I should have found out before I wore it. I don't know. But I figure that it's a Marvel shirt, so I wouldn't imagine that being them putting out anything too outrageous. Okay, so this is coming along. Really well. Oh, what I was going to say, I was at a garage sale, and they had a bunch of golf tees, and I picked them up. And the reason I picked them up is because, well, they got two sides, and I'm thinking that they would work pretty good for applying paint under certain situations, circumstances. You don't always have to use these brushes because it's art, and art allows you what they call artistic license. You can you do what works for you. Now these are starting to stand out really well. You can't see yet, but I'll turn it around. All right, I think I got enough here. Okay. Okay, I trust you can see that that's a lot brighter than it was. And it'll be quite bright when I put the gloss on. Pretty satisfied with that. Now I'll have to put a little white on his eyes, and then underneath here I have some reds. I'm going to brighten those up, and that's probably that's probably all I'm going to need to do for this. I might see if I've got some little jewels. I don't know. I have different costume jewelry and stuff. I got little fake diamonds, and I might hot glue on some jewels here at the top to embellish his crown a little bit. But I like pretty much what I'm seeing. So on to the red underneath, and I'm going to find my brightest red, which I think is right here. Way more than I need. This is where you need lots of brushes, because you know, sometimes you need the same kind of brush to do this, basically the same thing. These red spots, I need a small brush just like the one I was using. But anyway, this one here will probably work. So I'm just going to go over the dots. They're already there. And I see that when I did this originally, after I made my red dots, I put a tiny spot of yellow in the red dot. So I might do that. I might and there's where I might grab a toothpick so I'm about halfway done. I have an idea, since I've got my phone here. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, but you know, whatever, it works. So I like the saying, took 2 pictures, hopefully they came out. I like the saying, start where you're at, use what you have, and do what you can. Because a lot of people, myself included, sometimes are inclined to think that in order to get anything done, you know, you have to have everything just right, and which is not the case. You know, you go onto YouTube, if you like cameras, I like cameras, you see, oh boy, you know, they got what's the best camera? What's the best camera to use? What's the best camera to get? Well, I mean, you do want to get the right camera, you want to make the right choice, but the whole idea is the feeling that we get that in order to do what we're going to do, we have to have the best camera. And it's just not so. Start where you're at, use what you have, and do what you can. I'm liking this. I will go over I think I'm gonna, just because I put these dots on pretty thick, I'm gonna lay it on its side here for a little bit to let those dry just a bit, and then I'll take a toothpick and go over, put some dots on there, and then I'll use I've got some high gloss. Now this is, I'll have to check and see. If it doesn't work, I think the medium gloss is okay. This is 20, I think I bought it in 2020, so I think it's like 23 years old. Yeah. So while that's drying, I'm going to take a break and come back, answer my phone messages, and we'll get back at it. Okay, I'm back, and I think I have everything that I need to finish this up. It's a mess in here. Actually, I have a picture I can show you. This is my office that I'm working in, my little studio. Anyway, okay, I think I have everything. I just plugged in the glue gun, got a couple of toothpicks. All I really need to do, I think, is I'm going to put those little white yellow dots in, and I got to do the whites of the eyes. And I got some pearls to embellish the crown. Yeah, pearls are a little, this is a king, you know. I have a name for him. He's I have to look up the name. I forget what it is. It's the Latin name for bullfrog, and the Latin name, I think, a scientific name for frog, which I think is Aruna, king of the Arunas. Anyway, looking pretty good. Let's take care of the eye here. I'll use this little brush. I don't really need much, just a dot. And you see, one dot there, one dot there. Now, I'll go with the bright yellow. And put some dots on the red spots, which have dried up. And I'll show you a close-up what I'm doing here in a moment. This is a nice little finishing touch. I'm liking it. You know, I have ADD, or attention deficit disorder. Well, I had it for a long time. Don't really take anything for it. Probably should, because I have a hard time getting stuff done. I do so many things at once, but the flip side of ADD sometimes is a hyper focus, where instead of doing a whole bunch of things, which is typical, you get focused on just like one thing. That happened when about 25 years ago, 23 years ago, when I made my last puppet theater. I just super hyper focused. I rented some shop space from a guy, started building the theater, started building the puppets. In another video I'll show a picture of the theater. I still have it, but you know, it took me, like, to build the theater and the puppets that I built at the time, it took me like 6 months. And you know, I was fortunate because I I had 6 kids at home, and my wife would come into my office, this same office, and I'd be in here. You know, she'd say, "What are you doing?" I'd say, "Well, I'm building puppets." And I was fortunate I was able to do it, and you know, not go broke, because when I say it took 6 months, it was like not 6 months where you know, I was doing it on the side. It was 6 months where I was like working on it all the time and not working at any other, you know, job, even the things that I'm good at. Okay, so this looks really good. I like it. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of this. I mean, who does this? But whatever. Like I said, you start start where you're at, you use what you have, and you do what you can. And so here we go. This is underneath, and you can see these little spots that I put on the underneath, and then you see the eyes. And I'm going to put a little black spot right in the middle of the eye with the toothpick, and that'll finish that off. If the guess that paint is dry, so where's the black? I usually lay them out here, so that I can, you know, I know what I'm working with. See how that came out? There's a lot of waste there, you know. Sheesh. When you consider that I'm using one tiny dot on each eye. Oh yeah. Okay, so here I am back at you, and I'm sitting in my chair here in my office. I went ahead and finished that little project, and I'm going to show it to you now. In fact, the way that I'm set up now, it's going to be easy for me to kind of zoom in on the subject. So here is the finished masterpiece, and as you can see, all the colors are very brilliant, and the gloss finish that I put on gives it almost a wet amphibious look, which is going to be perfect for the project that I'm using it for. So if you enjoyed this video and were able to endure it, I know I talk slow. I'm not good at speeding things up right now, or you know, still learning how to do basic editing. But this here is really just the groundwork for the main project that I'm doing with this frog. So if you like this, I would encourage you to tune in for part 2 so that you can see the little project that I do with my granddaughter Emily. So that's it for now.